Hello, darkness, my old friend. You've come to talk with me again. Sens lose 5-4 to the Carolina Hurricanes. 8 in a row and 1 win in their last 10 games. Actually, in the last 36 days, the Sens have 3 wins and 7 points total. That's 3 wins and 7 points out of a possible 16 and 32. In the last 36 days, the Sens have barely earned above 20% of the total points available. Over the course of an 82-game season, that would leave the Sens with approximately 36 points. The NHL record for fewest points in a season is 21, set by the 8-win 74-75 Washington Capitals. Not exactly great company to be in. It's not getting any better either. Every night they either suck in one category or another, or don't play long enough, or can't be consistent enough, and every night they lose. It's so hard to get excited to watch this team play. Every night you're not sure whether they're going to show up or not, so you're not sure whether it's even going to be a fun game to watch or not, and if they do show up, and it is exciting, they still find a way to lose anyway, so you end up ending the night feeling poorly regardless. I could live with them just losing if they came out, played a full 60 minutes, and just lost to a better team through no fault of their own. But that's not what happens. It's usually death by 1,000 cuts, and it's usually extremely irritating. Remember when everyone was saying they were toast when they lost Erik Karlsson? Well, who would have imagined that the truth was the Sens would have been pooched without Thomas Chabot? Since Chabot was injured in the game in Long Island, the Sens ended up blowing that game, then lost by a goal to Washington, a goal to Vancouver, a goal to Minnesota, and a goal to Carolina. Then there was the 3-goal loss to the Blue Jackets. That was only 1 goal with 2 empty netters. Since Chabot went down with injury, the Sens have lost 6 games in a row, including the game they blew after Chabot went down. All 6 of those games were very winnable games. I have to imagine, if Chabot plays in all of them, the Sens win at least 2 of them. But as long as Chabot is out, everything just seems less exciting. At least I had some reason to be excited for this one. He's back! Pajot! 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 Yes! Pajot is back! After suffering an Achilles injury on the first day of training camp, the Sens forward made a lightning-quick return. For Sens fans, it shouldn't come as a surprise that the undersized, feisty, and hardworking Pajot made such a quick recovery, and taking into account the fact that the Sens should be one of the best-equipped medical staffs in the league to handle it, and it really shouldn't be a surprise. Remember that the Sens went through the exact same thing 5 years ago with Erik Karlsson, and he made his return after missing just 31 games. So Pajot's return after 41 games, while incredible, shouldn't be all that surprising. Pajot's return meant the Sens could return to the traditional 12-6 lineup, and Ben Harpur was the healthy scratch to make room for Pajot. Marcus Hogberg got the start and goal after being given Saturday afternoon off, and the Sens kept the rest of their lineup the same. Unfortunately for the Sens, after starting terrifically against the Wild on Saturday, they weren't able to do it again against the Hurricanes on Sunday. A Zach Smith tripping penalty 41 seconds in made things worse, and the Hurricanes took advantage on that power play. The Hurricanes snapped the puck around the loose Sens box. Williams sends the puck back to the blue line to Aho. He goes into the middle to Falk. Falk goes back to Aho. Aho goes cross-ice to Teravainen. He one-touches it back to Falk. He one-times it by Hogberg. And the Hurricanes lead 1-0. Credit to the Canes here, who did a good job moving the puck around and opening up seams to make room for the passes. Yeah, the Sens need to do a better job of closing those seams and not giving them to them. But like I said, the Canes also deserve credit for opening them up. To make matters worse, the Sens get a power play, and the Hurricanes score again. Brock McGinn steals a Mark Stone cross-ice pass and blows by 2 Sens defenders who are caught moving the wrong way. He races in all alone on Hogberg, goes forehand, backhand, tries to go between the legs of Hogberg. Hogberg turns it aside. It hits the stick of McGinn on his way behind the net, goes back through the 5-hole of Hogberg, and the Canes lead 2-0. We're not even 5 minutes in, and the Canes already have a power play goal and a shorthanded goal. Just give Colorado the first-round pick already. Save everybody the trouble. Ottawa already has. Thankfully, it doesn't get any worse. We head into the first intermission with the Sens behind 2-0. Better yet, in period 2, it gets better, not worse. After playing well and losing it in the first intermission on Saturday, the Sens do the opposite on Sunday and come out with a solid second period. Dylan DeMello's clearing attempt lands perfectly on the stick of Ryan Dzingel in the neutral zone. He races in one-on-one against Justin Falk, stops up, fires a shot at the Canes' goal. Peter Mrazek turns it aside. Falk swats the rebound away. Christian Wolanin races down the wall, wins the race, sends the puck towards the goal. It bounces off a Canes defender's stick, lands on the stick of Bobby Ryan. He sends a cross-ice backdoor feed to Matt Duchene. He easily taps it in the empty net, and just like that, Ottawa's deficit is down to 2-1. A nice bounce back and a nice goal. And one of the most impressive parts of the goal was the fact that all 5 players were involved. Dylan DeMello started the play on the breakout. Ryan Dzingel continued it by bringing the puck into the Hurricane zone. Christian Wolanin kept the play alive by winning a battle that kept the puck in the Carolina zone. And then Ryan and Duchene did the rest. Unfortunately, things would get worse before they get better. Christian Wolanin's clearing attempt fails. Victor Rask picks up the loose puck, fights off a check from Chris Tierney, goes cross-ice to Jacob Slavin. He fires a clean shot by Marcus Hogberg, and it's 3-1 Hurricanes. Boy, I thought Hogberg was really good in each of his 3 starts with the Sens so far this season. And this one, not so much. Guy Boucher agreed, as Hogberg got the hook. How disappointing. Like I said, I thought Hogberg was real good in the Sens goal, or at least pretty good in each of his 3 starts before this one, but he really wasn't good in this one, and for the second game in a row, Ottawa's goaltenders were not nearly good enough, and for the second game in a row, they're chasing the game. Despite the back-breaking goal, the Sens don't quit, and they get rewarded for their actions, as number 18 gets his 17th. Ryan Dzingel keeps in a Warren Foegele clearing attempt, then goes cross-ice to Chris Tierney, who hits Ryan Dzingel cutting through the middle. He goes backhand by Peter Mrazek, and just like that, Ottawa's deficit is cut to 3-2. This guy keeps getting better and better. Give this man his money! Of course, the Sens can't cut further into the Canes' lead because the Canes score again. Aho leads a 3-on-3. Lejoie takes away the pass, while Dzingel and Ceci chase Teravainen into the net. Neither covers Dougie, who's left wide open as the trailer in front. He takes his time, picks his spot, fires it by Nielsen, does the Dougie, and the Canes lead 4-2. Talk, guys. Tell each other who you're covering. Lajoie did the right thing taking away the pass, and I liked the effort of both Ceci and Dzingel on the back check, but one of them, more likely Ceci as the defender, has to communicate who he is and has to tell Dzingel who the other guy is to cover. He doesn't, neither guy says a word, and Dougie Hamilton is left wide open uncovered. Attention Sens fans, until further notice, the song Same Old Song and Dance will be used every time the Sens give up a goal against. Because let's face it, it's a theme song to their whole season. Then we get a little San Jose connection as the Sens cut their deficit back to a goal. Bodker sends a cross-ice pass up the ice to Tierney. He wheels into the Canes zone and does a drop pass to Balcers. That draws in 2 defenders, gives Balcers some space to the net. He makes a quick move, tucks one 5-hole on Mrazek, and just like that, Ottawa's deficit is 4-3. What a goal from the youngster. Especially considering it's the first of his career, becoming the 5th Sens player this season to score his first NHL goal. Based on that goal, while maybe not the prettiest, shows he has a nose for the net and some offensive abilities as well. Something tells me we're going to be seeing him score a lot more goals in his career. We even saw more goals before the end of the period, despite Balcers scoring in the final minute. 8 seconds after Balcers made it 4-3, the Sens march down the ice, score again, and it's 4-4. The theme of first continue on the goal as well. It may not have been the first of his career, but it's his first of the season in his first game. Pajot wins the draw back to DeMello. He sends a puck up the wall to Stone, who one-touches a pass up the ice to Pajot. He wheels into the Canes zone, fires a shot that gets by Mrazek, and it's 4-4. Not a pretty goal, but as a Sens fan, I'll take it. Pajot, 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 Pajot. Sing it with me. Pajot, 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 Pajot. Pajot, 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 Pajot. It's so nice to have Pager back. Jeez. That makes me sound old. No one uses a pager anymore.
The Sens do! Maybe that's why they suck! They're using old, outdated equipment!
Enough! Pajot just came back, and I'm happier than a pig in his element. And this guy wants to come try to make me unhappy? Not today, buddy! I'm having chicken parm for dinner! Unfortunately, while mystery isn't able to ruin my mood, the Sens and Canes are, and they do that in the third period. Ryan tries to poke the puck away from a Canes forward. He goes down really easily, I might add. The Canes go to the power play, and the Sens have to kill off the third period penalty. The power play is the second in the game for the Hurricanes, and much like the first opportunity, the Canes take advantage. On that power play, Falk goes over to Aho. Aho goes back over to Falk. Falk goes over to Teravainen. He throws one on goal. It bounces off Williams, goes in the goal, and the Canes lead 5-4. Heaven forbid somebody boxes out the man in front of your goaltender. Oh no, we're just gonna let Williams stand all alone in front of your goalie. Then he can just stand there and let it hit him and go in. It's the same old story, same old song and dance, my friends. Nilsson then absolutely robs Williams for the glove save on a breakaway a few seconds later, but it doesn't matter. The Sens can't generate much, and the Hurricanes skate away with a 5-4 win. Let's face it, the Sens got exactly what they deserved. Anytime you're outshot 10-2 in the third period of a tie hockey game, yeah, you deserve to lose. And that's exactly what happened. But again, how on earth does this kind of thing happen? They were so good in the second period, scored twice in the final minute, had all of the momentum, and then came out in the third and completely fell on their face. How does that happen? Why does that happen? And it's so unacceptable that it does happen. Let's just get into good news, bad news. Pajot is back, and that is my good news. Pajot is a huge part of this hockey team. He can play in any situation, and in the past, he's shown the ability to play up and down the lineup as well. Now, with him recovering from an injury, it may take him a while to get back into game shape, and it may not come this season, but he's still an upgrade over whatever option the Sens had. The Sens have been awful so far this season at shutting down the other team's top lines. One of Pajot's strengths is his ability to play two-way hockey. He should significantly help and make it way easier for Ottawa to shut down other teams' top lines. He can also chip in offensively, which they haven't got a ton of offensive production from their bottom of the lineup. You look at the bottom of their lineup. Zach Smith has 5 goals and 14 points, and Magnus Paajarvi has 3 goals and 4 points. Smith is a +3, while Paajarvi is a -19. Smith and Pajot have shown chemistry in the past, so hopefully the return of Pajot can get Smith going even better, and hopefully it can really kickstart Paajarvi's offensive production. His return will also benefit all of the centers on the Sens roster. Matt Duchene was asked to play way too many minutes every night, and a lighter load should help him be a little bit better offensively. And Colin White, while a rookie, can play a little bit more rookie style of minutes. And Chris Tierney, he can play some center, but also move up and down the lineup and play in various roles at various times. Having Pajot back should make the whole Sens roster a whole lot better, and that is good news. Now, for the bad news. Every game it seems like the Sens find a way to lose, and that is the bad news. We can talk one game about how the penalty kill is terrific, and lately, it has been. Since the Preds went 2 for 5 against the Sens on December 17th, the Sens have only given up power play goals in 2 of their last 7 games. In that span, they've killed off 14 of the last 17 power plays against. And then last night happens, they allow power play goals on both chances they get, and the Hurricanes win 5-4. Then the next game we can talk about how the goaltending was great, and all we needed was a better effort in front of them. Then the goalies go out and serve up stinkers on back-to-back days, when the Sens aren't even playing all that poorly in front of them. Then the Stars score, then they don't, or they play really well for 20 minutes, really poorly for 20 minutes, and just kind of meh for 20 minutes, or great for 40 and give it away in the third. It just seems like every night they're doing something to cost themselves the game, and that is the bad news. Next up, the Sens head out west on their annual California road trip, kicking things off in Anaheim on Wednesday night. The contest will be the first of 2 on the season between the Sens and Ducks, with the Ducks returning to Ottawa on February 7th. As is the case virtually every time the Sens play anybody these days, the Ducks come in as the better head-to-head team of late, having taken 3 of 4 points from the Sens last season and having won 4 of 6 overall. In fact, since a 3-0 win in 2003, the Sens have just 6 wins in their last 21 games against the Ducks, including the 2007 Stanley Cup Final. And so far this season, yeah, it's much the same. The Ducks haven't been great, but the Sens have been worse. Anaheim currently holds the final playoff spot in the West, with a record of 19-17-7 to sit 1 point up on Vancouver with 2 games in hand. The Ducks' 45 points are also 10 clear of the Sens, who once again occupy the final spot in the NHL standings. Thankfully for the Sens though, the Ducks come in just about as cold as the Sens do, having lost 8 in a row, but they did manage 1 extra point in that span. The Ducks are also without Patrick Eaves, Ryan Miller, Corey Perry, and Ricord Raquel, and Ryan Getzlaf has gone 6 games without a point. So the Ducks, they're ripe for the picking. John Gibson has also overtaken Craig Anderson as the goalie who has faced the most shots in the league so far this season, so the offensive chances are going to be there. Beating Gibson, who has been real good so far this season though, that's another story. See you Wednesday night.